Okay, what if I told you that a single idea could tackle two of our planet's biggest challenges at the exact same time? We're talking about the need for clean energy and the need to feed billions of people. Sounds a little too good to be true, right? Well, stick with me because that's exactly what we're diving into.
Right now, we're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. On one side, we absolutely need more solar farms for clean energy, but wow, they take up a ton of land. On the other side, we need every square inch of that land to grow food for a population that's soaring towards 10 billion people. So we're forced into this impossible choice. Do we build solar panels or do we plant crops? Energy or food?
But what if that choice was a false one? What if we didn't have to choose at all? What if it's not either or, but both and? This is where everything gets really interesting because a new way of thinking is turning this whole conflict on its head.
The big idea has a fancy name, agrovoltaics, but honestly, it's a super simple concept. Think of it as a land-sharing hack. You're making one piece of land do double duty. You're getting clean solar power from the panels up top, and you're growing crops or raising animals in the shade down below. It's like getting two for the price of one.
And look, this isn't some far-off futuristic dream. This is happening right now. All that protected, shaded space you see under the solar panels, that's usually just empty, wasted land. It's a massive hidden opportunity, and agrovoltaics is all about putting that space to work. And it's catching on everywhere. I mean, in France, they're growing better grapes. In Japan, they're harvesting rice right alongside solar energy. In the US, they're growing vegetables. Over in Kenya, it's actually helping crops survive droughts. So the big takeaway here is this is not a one-trick pony. This thing works in all sorts of climates with all sorts of different crops.
Okay, so agrovoltaics help solve the land crunch. That's huge. But believe it or not, that's only half of the story. There's another giant hidden problem in our food system that we have to talk about. And that problem is waste, a mountain of it.
You know, our whole system is built on this take, make, dispose model. We take nutrients from the soil, we make food, and then we just dispose of tons of organic waste. We're talking about animal manure, leftover crops, all of it. It's a one-way street, and it's just incredibly wasteful and often polluting.
So what's the opposite of that broken one-way street? It's called the circular economy. Instead of a line that ends in a landfill, I want you to picture a circle, a loop. In this system, the waste from one step becomes a valuable resource, literally food, for the next step. Nothing is wasted, just like in nature, right?
So what does that actually look like on a farm? Well, it's all about clever loops. You take all that animal and crop waste, and instead of throwing it out, you recycle it into rich compost that feeds the soil. Or you have livestock whose waste directly fertilizes the fields they live on. It's about creating this beautiful, self-sustaining system.
And now, this is where it all clicks together. A brilliant project over in Malaysia decided to ask, what if we combine these two powerhouse ideas? What if we use agrovoltaics and the circular economy at the same time? The result is something they call GreenCycle. So let's zoom in on where this is all happening. This is the UPM Puchong Solar Farm in Malaysia. It's a 2-megawatt facility, covers about 5 acres, so it's generating a lot of clean electricity. And you guessed it, it has all that underused, shaded land we were just talking about.
And this is the light bulb moment. The researchers looked at all that empty space under the panels and had a genius idea. What if we built our composting station right there? What if we could turn this solar farm into a recycling hub for farm waste? And the recipe they came up with is so simple but so effective. They basically took two things: animal waste from nearby farms, which is packed with nitrogen, and they mixed it with used mushroom substrate, which is full of carbon. They mixed it up, kept it airy, and just let nature do its thing for a couple of months. And just look at how perfectly this works. That's the actual composting station, tucked right in there under the panels. They didn't have to clear any new land or build a separate facility. They just used the infrastructure that was already there in a much smarter way. It's just brilliant.
All right, so the setup is genius. The idea is amazing. They made the compost. But here's the billion-dollar question, right? Was it any good? Did this cool theory actually work out in the real world?
Because at the end of the day, you can have the best idea on paper, but you've got to have the results to back it up. So let's find out. Did it work?
Okay, let's look at the numbers. First, the pH level. The final compost came in at a perfect 7.0, totally neutral. Now, why does that matter so much? Well, if soil is too acidic or too alkaline, it actually locks up nutrients and starves the plants. A neutral pH is like setting the perfect dinner table for your crops. So this was a huge win right off the bat. Next up, a big one. Phosphorus. Their compost had a final content of 4.89%. To a farmer, that number means stronger roots, more flowers, more fruit. It's basically the engine for plant growth, so this was another fantastic result. And finally, potassium, clocking in at 1.19%. You can think of potassium as the plant's immune system. It helps it fight off diseases and handle stress like heat or drought. So when you put it all together, they didn't just make some backyard compost. They created a balanced, high-quality, complete organic fertilizer.
So what's the final verdict? It was an absolute, total home run. The GreenCycle project proved, without a doubt, that you can take farm waste and, using nothing but the empty space under a solar farm, turn it into a seriously valuable, nutrient-rich product.
Now, this is amazing for one solar farm in Malaysia, but so what? What does this mean for the rest of us? Well, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture, because this is way more than just one cool experiment.
What you're looking at here is a model of pure synergy, where everything works together perfectly. Think about all the wins. You're generating clean energy. You're getting rid of farm waste that would otherwise pollute. You're creating a product that makes soil healthier, and you're taking our most precious resource, land, and making it incredibly efficient. This is the circular economy in action. This whole project really serves as a blueprint for the future, and it leaves us with a really powerful question to chew on. What if every single solar farm on the planet did more than just generate power? What if they were also hubs for regenerating our soil and building a truly sustainable food system? The potential there, it's just absolutely massive.